I hear you, and it's a fine line, and we need to do like a balancing act. Mina, my thing is, what I try and do, especially with my channel, is how can I teach amachita that are coming up these things that I have learned, because I see it so many times. I see it with guys our age, being with little girls or younger girls. Let me call it, let's not be rude. But when I say little, I'm talking about 10, 12, 13 years gap. Mchita's 36, he's with a 23-year-old. And then they will date, fun, 6 months, and then single. And Mchita's lonely, he's depressed. And I'm like, I know what happened. I know where the disconnect was. Or I've seen young guys, they straight out of varsity, they're 21, sis is 21, he's 21, they date. I know once my child 26. Contact disconnects over corner, they're gonna separate.
They're gonna be in different stages.
Labo, they've been together for 7 years. And I'm like, how can I teach amachita coming up ukuthi hey, lo muntu uzoyishintshela ekushintshele nawe. There's going to be expectations that she'll put on you that, you have no idea or any clue how you can achieve this. What? But I know your mom. I've seen your mom many times. What do you mean? So now all of us
alcoholic uncles to pull through, homie.
But you check your account, you kept it R7.50. And she's putting these things, this place is too small, we need to get a bigger car. R7.50 and it's accounting. We ask Spanish back, you are overwhelmed, you are earning 10K less than what you thought you'd be earning at this stage. The pressures are so much, and then how can the young guys maneuver these spaces? Because you find so many guys get to age 28, 29, 30, and they're still stuck in the same hole that he's been stuck since he was 23. Or a guy who's 25 is stuck in the same hole that he's stuck since he was 20. He has no clue how to get out of that hole. He's been there for 5 years, doing the same thing. And he wants to come out, but he just doesn't know. And he can't even date, because now, if he's 25 and he knows that the girls that are 23 are on a different stage, because they partying with this Grootman and that Grootman, they going on vacations there. They don't
want to go to a back room.
They don't want to go to your mom's house, dog.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sneaking through your mom's kitchen more to extend. So now there's that pressure. And you see, and I speak to so many of these guys, and then you meet these girls that like you initially, because it's cool being a music producer, until such time where they're like, yeah, but where's the flights? Why aren't we flying to Bali? Why aren't we meeting with Casper in your vest? And then it's almost like she starts moving differently, and you can start seeing a change again, and you're like, what happened? She's changed. The expectations of her. So I don't know.
TD Jakes calls it we lose each other at the curves.
Oh, I've heard
like
that.
Being on a motorbike.
I've heard that.
And there's someone sitting behind you, and as you hit the curve, the other person is not leaning with
They
you.
need to lean in with you.
And they fall off. So what keeps a relationship lasting for long is that if we're hitting a curve, of course you're meant to communicate. To say, I need to go vegan, my lifestyle, the doctor said, and you're like, okay, let's lean together. I'm gonna eat meat, but I understand that I'm gonna have to cook this for you. I now wanna hit church, even though I used to twerk for you. And the guy's like, but okay, let's curve together. I'll drop you off at church, and I'll pick you up, but at least we're still in this together.
It's even a biological thing, because again, if you think about it, when you get to about 25, 26, you develop your frontal lobe develops, and you start thinking more logically. So if they play around with the girls that are 22, 23, 24, sleep around with them, but kubanzinyana to sleep around with the girls that are 27, 28. What happens is that those girls start thinking marriage. So when a girl hits like 28, she looks at her biological clock in terms of having kids, and then she looks about building a family. 5 years ago, she was thinking about twerking on a yacht. Hits 28, all of a sudden, KK, when are we having a family? KK, when are we buying this big mansion in Penson? KK, when are we getting matching Porsches? KK, when are we going to look for applications at Hilton College for our kids? KK, it's all local got this busy. But once she goes through that, it's tough, bro.
I won't mind seeing him with his wife, but with another girl younger like me, I will also worried about, does he still love me, or what what he does to me when we are together, does he does to that girl? So I will be jealous.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you've already probably got a body count. But don't make it worse just because these rich boys are trying to smash you.
I think the needs are different. I think at 22, they're getting flooded for their body. And then at 27, they are now trying to get that rich guy to settle down with. I think
fall pregnant.
now they want that rich guy. At 22, they're just looking for a guy with... Ne? Man, I just chat. Sorry.
Bro, like the thing is with us, it's tough. You see now,
Yeah.
I'm turning like 22.
Sure.
Intanga zami like loot on face.
The girls.
Like for amachita, my peers,
Yeah.
they can all attest. They can all testify. Good dog. You'll never find okay a class in lako unless like a situationship noma into etheni mara ngeke kujole dog because no into enzakalayo ukuthi kule age enguyo.
Sure.
If ngizobheka abantu abancane like asivumelekile anything below 18 19
Yes.
like umthetho awuvumi at
Sure.
all, and then anything after lapho ama first year and labo bantu bagijimisa abantu abana 35 abantu abana 30 like ama Grootman ama Bottlekele ema clubini thina senza kancane ngoba seclassini eli1 anginamoto anginanex, and then uthola ukuthi okay fine ngiyayibona no situation njani leyo nto ngiyangimotivate ngibhekele uAndrew Tate ngibhekele uPenuel ngiyajima strong ngishaya 27 nami sengumjita no nginemoto nyana ngiyazibhekela ngina 30 27 ngiyenza
27.
yeah sithi 27 mangifika lapho angisafuni ukuya kuntanga yami ena 27
but even if you went to a 27, do you think you'd get a 27?
like sengina 27 sengispana
Because you must understand now she's driving the same car that you have.
khona ba retire phela
No, I hear
sebabuyile
you.
game mina ngithi
I'm into you saying she's 20, let's say 21.
Okay.
She's a bottle girl.
Yeah.
Ne? Twala leyo mali. She's being with guys abano 35, 36.
Yeah,
Ne?
yeah.
Ukhumbula ukuthi they're moving with the age as well.
but then
Right?
khona
Once they get to 26, do you think they'll say, now let me relax with the 26-year-old?
my
I think you are
head
speaking more from his perspective of saying that now that to say grand, he doesn't want
yeah
those
yeah
chicks
Oh,
to
he
come
doesn't-
easy.
bona
Oh.
ngithi no sebaretire labantu laba
Oh,
mebabhizi nabo
sorry.
sebabheke esinye
Yes,
stock lawo
yeah.
maFortman mina nabo sesigijimisa into eyi1 no
Yeah.
yangithola ngoba mina mangu30 ngiyofuna ukubhata revenge for all the times ngiba
Ah,
rejected ngina
Do
23
you
ngizolanda ama 23-year-old.
Do you know this happened to me only after 30?
When
Where,
you started chasing 20-year-olds.
no, where the
Sorry,
aba
so this was
retired,
going
ne?
in a different direction.
Laba retired. Sebe, hey Penson, how you doing? Umuntu ushanga ama baby daddy ayi20.
Oh, 20 though. We had to go
20
so
baby
hard.
daddies manje. Angithi sasimfuna sonke sina 22. Sasibafuna opale, sasibafuna nomfundo, sasibafuna. Now she's 32, I'm 32 now, she's saying, "Hey, ni cute." Yeah, what? Yeah. Basho
Don't pass the mic yet. I wanted to ask you, you spoke about Umthetho Uvumi.
Yeah,
Which is correct.
for real.
Legally, the age is 16. But at some point, we need to have the conversation of legal versus moral. Because we can't be owned by the law.
Yeah.
We need to be owned by what feels right. I wanted to ask you how you feel about 22-year-old guys, base varsity or after, dating grade 12, grade 11 as a solution to not deal with these young girls at varsity that are being chased by Amachitane and you.
So like okay, for me personally ngithi I'm 22.
Yeah.
So umntana ona 18 ngimshanga like 4 years.
Let's say grade 11, 17.
Like
16
17,
turning
okay
17.
ngimshanga 5 years.
Yes.
So mangina 25 lo mntana makana 20
Let's talk
iyobivumelekile
Let's talk
lento
now.
le.
No, I understand. I'm going back to the example you made. So you're 22, your
Yeah.
age mates, you feel like we're now.
Yeah.
And you're speaking for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Which these chicks are not looking at us.
Yeah.
They're looking at Ama Grootman and you. I'm asking as a solution, do you think you guys should be dating girls in high school? Or are you guys fucked to only date first years and up and hope for the best?
According to the law, we are obliged only to date abantwana out of high school yangithola, but then
Not really. From grade 10, 11, 12, 16 and above.
amongst leyo age group, but
16
then
plus.
once you are above 21 years old, you're not allowed to.
Nope, 16 plus.
Oh, maybe this is a teachable moment. So let's hit you with this. This is going to be quick, I hope.
Yeah.
So the age of sexual consent, which we're going to link to dating, in South Africa is 12.
12 fool.
Yeah. So in South Africa, it's legal for 12-year-olds to have sex. But it must be within a 3-year range. So the 12-year-old can sleep with the 15-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Once it goes above 3 years, it becomes statutory rape.
Yeah.
So on a 13 can go all the way up. You add 3 years, 16. On a 14, 17. Ganjalo.
Yeah.
That's age of consent from age 12.
Yeah.
3 years though. And then from age 16, like South Africa,
Grade
can
10.
sleep with anyone you want.
Can
Grade
sleep with a
10.
100-year-old, bro.
A grade 10 girl, as an example. I'm going to use a girl because that's
Oh.
normally the example people make. They normally don't use boys.
Yeah.
A girl who's on a 16 in grade 10 can sleep with a 40-year-old man. Legally, that is not deemed statutory rape. Which is why I said at some point we're going to have to speak legal versus moral.
But then
So that's why I was asking Guti, Mauna 22, legally, you can jola with a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
It doesn't, the law allows you.
yeah.
So I was asking because you're complaining about your age mates.
Yeah.
Do you think mhlampe intwana that are young like yourself, mhlampe mele nibhela go matric grade 11 and be like, at least those chicks basihlonipha.
Most Amachans,
our age.
it's what we do. Most Amachans, there's a saying amongst Amachita that's like grade 12 term 4. It's a thing. Go grade 12 term 4.
So siyakhipha.
Yeah, there you can attack.
Yazi ngishaya kanjani leyo nto man, because I remember when I was in grade 11 and I remember the girls in grade 11 with me,
Transport drivers.
but yes, they were but chola taxi drivers abantu
Yeah.
basevava, and I used to be like, so if I'm in grade 11 as
And
umchita,
taxi drivers are young guys. I didn't know this when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Taxi drivers 22,
I'm a
23.
transport driver.
Yes.
Baba.
so now I'm 17, she's 17, grade 11, she's dating a 23-year-old as an example. Who am I meant to now date?
You mustn't date, but melu shayi skomor ba hamba ulala.
Who am I meant to
Walk,
date?
wank,
So now
go
someone's
sleep.
going to say, okay, date umuntu ofuna grade 9 because mina ngifuna grade 11 funa grade 9. Okay, intwana efuna grade 9 ke yena. Iphela apha lento engikhuluma ngayo. Izophela kuphi?
Maybe light is, look, I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. Young boys specifically. I need to
Yeah.
argue that girls mature faster than us,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself because maybe I was a loser. I think in Twana grade 8, grade 9, grade 10 should not be dating. I think in Twana phase we should be focusing on this scale. And then grade 10, you can start looking at grade 8, grade 9.
But okay,
And look, maybe I'm wrong. Because Nakona, I'm using these years to date, not for sex, by the way. I'm just talking about Ntombi. Ufundu ask about intwana efuna grade 18 ngakanani with their big bags. Yeah, so my girlfriend and uyayibuka lento na 13 na 14 unentombi wena. Nenzani? No, on Friday she gives me a baby kiss and you're like, baba. Go hit the books, Ntwana. Hit the books, which I push up for girls. You'll see girls in grade 11.
Abantu bangenele with social media and I said boys shouldn't date. And I was talking about boys in the sense of people that aren't responsible, fully responsible and accountable for their life.
Or not an age thing.
Not an age thing.
People that are not responsible.
So you could be 40 years old.
And if you're a boy.
And if you're not fully responsible for your life and accountable for your life. So however you want to define that, you know. But you can't be complaining, I'm not dating, then you fall into a certain category called boy for me.
Sure.
So you need to zone in. Khohlwa intombi. Mawusahlula ukuthengela i-data noma usahlula ukuthi uthenge isinkwe brown no peanut butter. Intombi should be the last thing on your mind. It should be, how can I work on me so that at the very least I can just look after my basic things before. And I think a lot of the challenges when we struggle is labo sis laba bano 21, 22, they don't have to look after themselves. Khona umjito uzomcaphuna so. Uzomkhokhela everything for a trip, everything for the everything. Whereas when mawuna 22 uyocaphuna usisi una 20, the expectation is you going to cover. Kanti wena ukwakabi grand.
This is traditional.
It's today's society.
No, I'm just saying traditionally where the boy is meant to provide or the man's meant to provide. Because I wanted to ask the other thing in solution.
Yeah.
So date younger girls is a potential solution. We're not saying people must do it. We're just talking dynamics. I know dating, we're not speaking sex, just having a girlfriend. I wanted to ask another potential solution. Gogo laba sebe retired. Abanabo date. Say, my age mates don't want me. Gogo sebe retired. I was thinking ngihambe ngiyoyizamela isigogwana mfethu. Ngoba isigogwana is gonna buy me. I'm a boy. Isigogwana songithengela idatha. Isigogwana is gonna pick me up in a car and it's gonna be like,
ngicela ukunika itip.
No, you drive.
Ngicela ukunika itip. Ngicela ukunika itip. Isigogwana is only there for situationship, bro. Yabona what to invest isigogwana.
Intwana is also there for.
Yabona if that's your goal, a situationship. Uyashaya ndlule yabona ukuthi sohlekisana for 6 months. If that's your goal, tops, do you. But if you thinking ukuthi njengoba una 22 uyobamba ugogo na 34, yabona after a while every female has this. Every female kancane uzoqala expect sekwena.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And now she's got 2 kids. And now sucela ukuthi uyosha I'm 34 35 abantu banengane. And now she's like, hey, please can you help me with this? Please can you try? Please can you? And now you start realizing ukuthi hayi man. Lo muntu una 24 sufuna ukuthi ngibe yitime to ingane. And all of a sudden all that pressure, responsibility and accountability will now be on your shoulders. If that's what you want, go for it. If it's just angakabi ready, I would suggest ukuthi uziyeke igogwana unless ngempela you are ready for that work, because after you've invested.
Antona's looking for a girlfriend.
I'm a situationship.
Not situationship, a girlfriend. Not a wife. Because even the age mate he was speaking about. The girls that are bottle girls,
serious.
He's also not looking for a wife. He's looking for a girlfriend.
No, but
So
I'm saying
say, look young, or uzamis kokwana Antoine.
hey, is kokwana so fold up.
Obvious.
Fucking bastard.
And I'm happy that you raised it, because a lot of guys believe what you believe. Look, just play the game. And sadly, a lot of our parents, and maybe even us as parents now, we're probably going to give our kids the same advice. You're young, because your 17-year-old boy is going to be like, I've met my wife. You're like, hey, Baba, go explore yourself.
I'm going to write him fine.
So here's the danger, because I wanted to agree with the part where women expect you to be experienced. The danger that I've seen is the more women you get with, the more it messes you up psychologically. And by the time you get to 30, what you were saying, 18 to 30, your body's built habit. It's like gym. If you've been gymming from 18 to 30, it's going to be difficult for you to just stop gymming and be like, no, I'm just going to not gym. So when you get used to chasing skirts and sleeping with different women to accumulate the experience, it's going to be difficult for you to settle down at 30. And that's why a lot of married guys end up cheating, chasing young girls, but they married because the habits that he's built. The question now...
And you get better at it.
No, of course. Cabanga Antoine, usui master yokushela. What would make you stop? Because as soon as you see a chick, you already know what to say. You know when she giggles like this. So...
You are making 10K at 24, getting the hottest girl. Now you're making 100K at 32.
So the solution
you're gonna be flying.
The solution we need to try and figure out, at least from my perspective, because you're younger than me and I'm supposed to, as a Grootman, give you good advice. I could tell you, Antoine, I will ride shy, Antoine, I'm an experience, but I've seen what that does to guys. But at the same time, I can't be like, no, Antoine, I'm just, semen retention, you are the prize. We need to find a solution of how can we get young gents to gain the experience, but without building the type of habit that makes them rubbish.
Pornhub.
And then, hey. What is that? What is the Pornhub?
Nami ngafunda kubhaliwe ukuthi khona into ebizwa ngePornhub. Ayama ngiyazi.
Porn is second-hand clothes.
Yeah, PAWN. Udayisa kwengubo. Yes, ihub. Yakhumbula khona isitolo sasibizwa ngehub.
Thought you were talking about something else.
Hayi mina ngizazi lezo zinto lezo.
The other thing we need to do, KK, now that you've raised it, is we need to speak to girls or train girls in such a way that, number one, they need to preserve themselves. Because the value of a woman, even though life has moved so much, the value of a woman still majorly lies in her purity. The fewer bodies she's had, the fewer guys she's been linked with, the higher her value. Yes, looks are a thing. But I can tell you now, there's some celebrity chicks who are hot as shit. But the stories we've heard about them. If you'd be like, I'm so shy. But hot. But there's no way I'm fucking wifing this thing. So there's still a thing to be said about purity. But there's also something to be taught to young girls around expectations of a machida. And the same way we're going to tell you guys, say, focus on making your money, jima ube grand and be attractive. We're going to need to teach girls as well. Would say, all these guys that are in your DMs that are taking you out and what, even if you're going to claim, but I didn't sleep with all of them, and sure. Mm-mm. But I can tell you the perception to gents out there. There's a guy in your class, there's a guy maybe who's a senior even at varsity watching you. And he thought he saw something. And he's going to bump into you like Penson at 33. And you guys are not the same. He's a man, you're a woman. At 33, he's going to be making 100,000. You're going to be making 100,000 as an example. but he's going to be more valuable than you, even though you guys have got the same body count. And when that time comes, you're going to sound like a bitter woman on social media. I don't know why these old guys are busy with young girls. It says a lot about them and their mindset. What the hell are you discussing? And you're like, you're just bitter. You are getting smashed. But you're not going to tell us that you are getting smashed all these years. Mine obusu retired and amachita was like funny. Even the young, I'm a Penson, they also don't want you. They're like, hey, I know, aunties are sisters, I know, I sharp. That's why you're bitter now, but you're not being honest to the young girls. That listen, I was run through. I thought I was hot. I got the hottest guys at varsity smashed me. The hottest guys in corporate was smashing me. And then I tried to get married. I was married for 2 years. Then the nigga cheated or he left me for a younger girl. And then I got bitter. Because now I'm looking up and I've got 2 kids, 3 kids. And I've now got baggage. And this guy who was actually quality at school is looking at me. He's got 3 kids like me. Siafan, and now he's got failed returned soldier. Now he's divorced. But he's more valuable than me because 23-year-old girls want him. But gents my age, gents older than me, they don't want me. I tried to scratch a Ben 10 just for a weekend. But now, uzong shy until he gets a job. After that, it's going to be like, hey.
And Penson comes at a cost that she's not used to.
At a cost?
That she's not used to.
In terms of taking care of him?
Taking care of him, yeah. And but if you've been, again, like any muscle, if I've been taking care of a girl from 20 till 35, I'm used to it. You now are trying this flex out for the first time at 35.
So we have to have these conversations because people literally get to Mzi. We need to hook each other up. You know, so many of us know good people. So you guys are in your 20s, right? Yeah. If I spend time with you guys...
Mzi, how old are you? Sorry.
23. Jump man.
So if I meet you guys and I'm like, I think these are good kids. Yes, they speak about women. Okay, here, like, we must play the game. But I'm like, look, he's saying it, but he's a good gent. Umzi is a good gent. It would be nice to be like, hey, you know, there's this girl who I've also heard her say, yeah, but like, he must have a card. It's like, I say, I think you're a good girl. I know
shower environment.
Forget the environment. I think you guys must meet each other.
Okay.
But now also for us older people, I think people must hook each other up. We've lost that culture. Do it with this span, do it with business, but also where you see 2 people that you think could get along just for a coffee date.
Do you know I've done that? And now they're married with kids.
It's one of the most important.
Now they're married with kids.
That's dope.
I was like...
Oh, like Cupido.
I was like, you're such a lacquer guy and you misunderstood because people call you a jerk and you are a jerk, but like you're a nice jerk. You're our jerk.
Sure.
And Losisi, she's going through a transition. She's lost in the wild. But thina masingambamba simbekela phansi hey hlala la wena. Yabona sithi kumgeza kancane azozovuka. Ngempela umjida wathi wayibamba ingane 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months wayidedela wathi sikuba uthi uzobehave or behave sis. 10 years later.
Sounds violent.
Beautiful. No, but I'm just saying, like sometimes we lost in life, bro. Like especially Osisibethu. If they're listening to the outside noise, sometimes they can get lost and they'll need that a stronger energy to manage them because they lost. People get lost. I've been lost. Everybody's been lost.
The reason I was raising this is what you were saying about Umchita that looks lost. Not everyone has an ability to do due diligence. Whereas I know a girl
a referral
and her dirt.
Yeah.
So Umzi won't know that this chick would say this chick is trash, bro. But I know a good girl, but I won't think, let me link them, because where is he going to bump into her? So I just think we must do that. And then I wanted to ask you, Mzi.
Because gents do that for smash and grab. I'll organize a store go lab.
Sure.
Fucking bastard!